Oh, look at these wonderful pictures. We showed you, last week from Korea, and the brothers and sisters welcoming Pence and getting out there and demonstrating for the nation. Now, you heard that every week now they're going out there doing demonstrations for the nation, for their freedom of the nation. And they're putting us right up in the front of those demonstrations all the time. Now they know our organization. Even in Korea now, they're starting to mention some of the key slogans that we've made on the media and things like that. So people are starting to hear that message. Now, similarly in Japan, throughout different regions of Japan, all our sanctuary members in Japan are also getting mobilized and doing demonstrations on the street. Now, in Japan, there's a lot more regulation. So you have, if you're doing something in front of this or that building, you only can be like 2 people at a time. so they have to rotate out. Like 2 people come in, they do then like an hour later, the 2 people more, it's like, So sometimes it doesn't look like a lot of people there, but that's not because there's not people that want to go there. They have all these tremendous amount of restrictions. Even way more than Korea. Way more than Korea. Anybody who knows Japan, you know it's a very highly regulated society. So, but there are brothers and sisters here in Kumamoto. That's on the 15th, 16th, and 18th. There we go. They're the only ones out there warning about, Japan's situation, that they have to be wary of China and encroachment, that they should support America. And also, so the Japan-America alliance, and in some places Japan-Korea American alliance, movements are now starting to be held, and they're reaching out to people. People are stopping on the street who agree with that, not only take their pamphlets, but then they start distributing pamphlets for them too, as well. So we're seeing that kind of thing now happen in Japan. As you can see the flags here, right? So the Japan and American, must stand united. Also, from the 14th to 20th of April 2017, Japan held welcoming delegations to Vice President Pence for the nation. Again, see, only our people are the ones doing these conditions, are getting out there. They're not just like praying in a room. They're getting out there and doing these conditions for the nation. Do you understand? And, our brothers and sisters in Korea, our brothers and sisters in Japan, they're the only ones out there, the only ones politically awake. It's ridiculous. It's absurd that the conservative movements and the right-leaning movements there are so, brain dead. But we are grateful that at least somebody is setting the spiritual condition, because we know this is not only a physical reality. There's also a spiritual world that's there, and they need to be animated through people on earth who are actuating those things. Okay, so here they are in Kumamoto, handing out flyers. There we go, to passersby. There are some brothers and sisters in Tokushima, some young people from Korea actually who have left South Korea with their families or something like that, I believe, and they're now relocating into Japan because the war situation is escalating. Okay, the potential for danger, of course, is escalating on the peninsula. Here you go. They are here in, what was this, Tokushima? This was Tokushima. And so our brothers and sisters are out there. What a contrast. Family Fed was also, I guess, on that street somewhere. And they were out there trying to witness to people about, who knows what, only begotten daughter, or goddess worship, whatever the heck they're doing. But it was only our people out there trying to declare to the nation, hey, nation, wake up. We cannot go left. We have to stay with, our alliance. We have to strengthen our alliance. We have to support our president, Abe, who is really trying to work close with Trump, etc. They're the only ones out there doing these demonstrations. And people, as you can see, where is that? There's a grand, I can't remember if it was Tokushima, but our brothers and sisters out there, again, look, there's all these regulations. They can only stand like 2 people at one time, and they can't have banners. They can't have big horizontal plankers or something like that. So I guess they can only have little flags. Okay, so there's all sorts of regulations that they're trying to get around, but nonetheless, they're out there trying to stand for the Japanese-American alliance and Korea as well. Our brothers and sisters are in Osaka. Is that Osaka? Is that right? That's the U.S. consulate right here, okay, or in front of on the other side of the street. Also in Nagoya, our brothers and sisters there. See, now they're going Japan, Korea, and U.S. alliance, and of course, we're not telling them to do that. They can organize their flags and banners how they want, but they understand the spirit of where Providence is moving, right? Because we're all connected by faith, not necessarily by hierarchical organization, right? Some of our sanctuary leaders create hierarchical organizations for those who want to be in those types of organizations. You're free to do so. But others create not hierarchical, okay? So some people just are very beholden to their Catholic roots, So they just want the Catholic style. So for those who love that style, they have hierarchical churches and ministries that still support the second king and the three kingships. Okay. So we don't discriminate, but again, all of them will defer to me on theological matters. Okay, so they can't just make up new theologies for that. They have clear things they have to do. They have to accept Father as Messiah, etc. Three kingships, etc. Things like that. But articles of faith, not organization. Okay, there's Nagoya again, and there it is. There's a Japan flag with the American flag. Oh, again, only our brothers and sisters out there doing these kind of rallies, trying to stand up for their nation, trying to do some type of spiritual condition, It's almost like, it's like almost those prophets they would go before all of, Israel when they're becoming pagan or when they're becoming, or in Egypt or in Babylon. And they would warn them. And that was just one person. The prophet many times was just one person. Right? We have more than one person, but they're out there. The point is that they're out there trying to awaken the people. Okay, so that is a very important condition in these last of days. There's also Tokyo here. This is in front of, is this the Tokyo U.S. Embassy? Okay. And here, of course, you can see a lot more people. This is them welcoming Pence here with the flags and everything. And they actually bumped into quite a famous Japanese missionary family who is a minister. And the pastor joined the rally and also was, waving the flags, etc. And he was just so surprised to see, wow, look at all these Japanese people like supporting, Trump and Abe. He was very shocked. He kind of tipped off the other brothers and sisters to where Trump would be going next, to some baseball game or something like that. And so they were there and they were able to see Trump wave to them and everything. I'm sorry, Pence wave to them, etc. At some point, the minister did have dinner with them or lunch with them or something, and he said, "Are you guys affiliated with the Unification Church?" Something like that. Okay. And but they had a nice drive back. He said they drove him back and had a nice conversation, etc. And I'm sure he was grateful, even though he may not theologically agree with what we are saying. He agrees with the spirit and is grateful, I think, for the Japanese, citizens standing up to support this alliance. There we go again on Tokyo, and also media was out that day. This is the Prime Minister's residence, and here they are. They actually took a picture in front of the Prime Minister's residence, which is illegal. It's illegal, but the police let them do it. Okay. The police let them do it because there were like Western reporters there, and it's the first time now that our Japanese members are getting, international, articles now starting to be written about them. Okay. Here we go. This is Tokyo, and this is the baseball game. There he is. There's Pence, and I don't know if you can see there, but he's waving out of his window, leaning forward, waving at there he is. See that little hand there? He's out there waving, a sign of gratitude to our brothers and sisters out there, supporting the U.S. and Japanese alliance. So we're grateful, and I'm sure that the Trump administration is hearing about all these demonstrations all over Asia. You know, they only have the largest surveillance grid in the world. You know, so.